We've told you about the many Memphis connections in this year's NBA Finals. Another one being Tigers men's basketball assistant Cody Toppert. He has deep ties to the Valley, and just 2 years ago, he was a Suns assistant coach. And Cody joins me right now. Cody, first of all, thank you so much for taking some time. You were there as the bricks of this foundation were being laid. What has impressed you the most out of this run to the NBA Finals for the Phoenix Suns?
Yeah, well, I think anytime you've got a young team, they have to learn how to win. And I think that's the biggest thing that we've seen with Deandre and with Book especially is the ability to find ways to win close games, no longer just compete, but obviously finish the job. And, you know, we know that they made some roster changes, sprinkling in some veterans, whether it's a Jay Crowder, whether it's a local product and campaign, obviously Chris Paul. But at the end of the day, we know that Book and Deandre are going to be the engines that drive that bus. And so it's good to see those guys learn how to close out tight games.
What was it like to be there, you know, as that team was coming of age?
Yeah, I think the unique element about it, I mean, we had the number one pick that year, obviously used it on Deandre Ayton, was that during that year, Luka was all the rage, right? Luka Doncic was doing some fantastic things, continues to do some fantastic things. And it just took Deandre just a little bit longer to kind of put it all together. But what we're seeing now, the version of Deandre out there, is a relentless version on both sides of the ball. I think his defensive presence, specifically rim protecting and rebounding, has been integral towards the Suns' ability to get out in transition. And then what we're seeing now is on offense, he's getting up there, learning screening angles and finding opportunities and ways to be successful in the short roll. So to see that has been nothing short of astounding. Mikal came from a winning program in Villanova, and he was somebody who's just been a winner everywhere he's gone, defending the best player on the opposing team. He was doing that as a rookie. He was defending the Damian Lillards. He was defending some of the top players, regardless of which team we were playing. So, you know, see him put it all together is no surprise. And obviously, you know, Devin is a kid who loves to play basketball. At his core, he's just a hooper. He wants to get out there and mix it up, and he wants to be great. He's obviously got the X factor, but he's also got that confidence that it takes not just to take that game-winning shot or tying shot or crucial shot, but to make it. And, I mean, I couldn't be more proud of those guys. Spent a lot of time around them, and they're all great people.
Obviously, the 2018-19 season was a rebuilding year for the Suns, but in that season, you had success against somebody that's a little relevant right now. The Milwaukee Bucks swept them in the regular season. How were you able to do that? Was there anything that you see that's relevant from back then to what you may be seeing here in the NBA Finals?
Well, I think the big thing is when you look at the matchups and really the defensive assignments. What we did that year that was kind of outside the box was we decided to put Deandre Ayton on Giannis. And I think that that's a matchup to take a look at and see really what's Monty going to do. Is Monty going to keep Deandre on Lopez, who tends to float out the perimeter and kind of pull the goalie, right, pull your rim protector away from the paint? Or is he going to put Deandre on Giannis? I think either way, it's not going to be a perfect science, but we'll see a steady diet of both. The big thing about Giannis is he's such a physical player. So no matter whether it's a Crowder or Mikal Bridges, his physical presence in the paint, specifically on drives to the hoop, makes him very difficult to stop without size and sheer strength, and Deandre provides both.
Can you give us an idea of just how meaningful the Suns being in the finals, being this close to an NBA championship, is for the Valley right now?
Yeah, I mean, my first NBA game that I ever saw actually was Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals, Sonics versus Suns. So me personally, I was a Suns fan from then. Loved the Charles Barkley Suns. Obviously was a huge Steve Nash fan. Everybody in that southwestern area, you know, San Diego, they don't have a team since the Clippers left them all those years ago. And so really what you've got is an entire area, part of the country, New Mexico, you touched on it, does not have an NBA team. An entire part of the country that's really, really concentrated as being Suns fans. And for them right now, I know it's nothing short of amazing, but to see a return to the glory of that early 90s segment, I think everybody's really they're up in arms about it, no doubt.
Be honest with me. Did you think that the success to this degree would come this quickly for this group?
I mean, I knew that it was going to be an inevitability that Deandre Ayton and Devin Booker were going to charge the Suns into a future that was going to be not just relevant, but of championship contention. When you talk about it happening this quickly, to see Mikal and Deandre in year 3, right, still babies, to see Book, just barely 24 years old, I think maybe it's a little bit sooner than people thought. But there's an underrated element behind the experience that those guys were gaining all those years. They got to perform in game situations really with no pressure on them. And they got to figure it out, and they got to make mistakes without expectations. And so now what you're seeing is the fruits of that labor paying off and paying dividends on the highest stage. We can't discount, obviously, the impact that dropping a leader like Chris Paul has done for them. And obviously Coach Monty Williams and staff have done an outstanding job. So a lot of great people in that organization. And again, the sky's the limit for them moving forward. I don't think this is the first time we'll see them on this stage.
Cody, thank you so much for taking some time. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.